This week on the vlog, I was going to tell you a little bit about the 2017 Hood River Fly-In. The reason I'm doing this is I just posted my pictures from it to my website. You can catch the link below. Shortly before the Hood River Fly-In, the Eagle Creek fire broke out by the Eagle Creek stop on the interstate, and there's a bunch of hiking trails there. They're probably the most popular in Oregon. And the fire broke out, and it's just beyond Bonneville Dam. Fire broke out there due to concern over trees that might fall into the road, smoke causing visibility issues, etc., etc. I-84 and US 30 were closed, and thus it was a challenge to get to Wham. There was two routes you could try. You could try 14, which is on the other side of the river in Washington, going down to Hood River, Oregon, where Wham is and the fly-in was hosted. Or you could go 26 through the mountains by Mount Hood. I tried both. They were roughly equivalent. So anyhow, we did that. And this year, the Hood River Fly-In was about Curtis Oaks 5 engine, which was the power plant that powered the famous Curtiss Jenny biplane, which the Curtiss Jenny was an airplane that the United States built to train our pilots for World War I. And part of what was interesting about this is by the time that World War I broke out, the United States had kind of fallen behind in military aircraft design, even though we invented flight. But the Jenny was built. It was very successful, trained our pilots well, was reliable, reasonably safe, and was built in large numbers and was extremely common. And many may know that it also became famous for shortly after the war, lots of civilian pilots bought them and barnstormed with them. And they were, what civilian pilots basically started with. The OX-5s were built in large numbers to power those planes, so there was lots of them after the war, and they ended up powering most of the planes, the civilian planes, in that time frame because they were reliable, reasonably strong, powerful, and inexpensive due to how many there were. So Wham decided to make this fly-in about the Curtiss OX-5 because the Jenny turned 100 years old this year. And the intent was that they would fly several of their Curtiss OX-5 powered aircraft. They happen to be the museum that has the most flying Curtiss OX-5 powered aircraft today. And they were going to fly several of those aircraft, including the Jenny. And so I definitely wanted to be there. I go to the fly-in every year, but this was a year of particular interest. I wanted to see the planes fly. And so I had intended to get there early in the morning. That's when most of that kind of activity happens. And then a friend of mine, he had an assignment to shoot the Curtiss Jenny air-to-air for a magazine. So he definitely wanted to get there. So we both tried to get there at 7 a.m. every morning, which with the road closings meant that I had to leave at 4:30 to get there and, drive over there that early in the morning. And it eventually worked out. The planes flew on Sunday morning. It was fantastic. There was weather issues before. So we got the images we wanted. My friend went up in a Top Cub flown with the TAC Aero folks. And that's a FBO, and an FBO that does more than the typical FBO does. They have more services they offer. And they flew the Top Cub for him to get the pictures. I stayed on the ground with my camcorder, went out close to the runway. Some of the volunteers there escorted me out there. And I filmed it with hopefully the footage I got of the Jenny would be used by the magazine to promote the article on like Facebook, Instagram. And So we're hoping that. So the aircraft you're seeing spliced in is everything that flew but the Jenny. I'm going to keep that on lockdown so that no one has seen the footage, if they use it that way, seen it prior to that. So in the future, I suggest you go to Wham. It's a great place to go, especially if you love airplanes. And if you're following me, there's a good chance you love airplanes. So I'd like to thank you for checking this out. Here's to you. Please suggest me to your friends, like and subscribe, and I'll see you later.